Hi and welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be giving my 3 top reasons why you should open a community interest company, even if it's just a side thing, a side hustle or a hobby. I'll be covering things like how to earn extra income through your CIC, how to turn your hobby into a passion, and how helping people and doing a social cause of some kind makes us happier. So before I jump into that, please hit the subscribe button for everything to do with community interest companies, grant funding, social enterprises and earning extra income. If you are interested in starting a CIC, jump over to my website where I've got a course, how to set up a CIC and get grant funded in 4 months. And literally everything you need to know is over there. But also hit the subscribe on this channel because this is a wealth of free information. So that aside, so this video is for people who are interested in opening a community interest company as a side thing. So they may be somebody who has got a job already and you don't want to leave that job. Or maybe you've got a business already, or maybe you've got a family or even a health condition, which means you don't have time to work full time. So what could it look like if you have a community interest company as a side thing? So it could be as big or small as you want to make it. It may be that you just want to open a community interest company and run one grant funded project a year. That's actually what my partner currently does. He is a scaffolder and he has a community interest company for his passion, which is arts and heritage. So he's planning on just getting one heritage lottery grant a year, or maybe an arts council grant. So he's just going to run a small project over the course of the year, and that's all he intends to do to it. And then maybe later on, when he gives up his job, he may then increase the grant funding and build it larger. But at the moment, it's just a paid hobby. So here are my 3 reasons why I think it's a great idea to start a community interest company as a hobby. Reason number 1, because you will get grant funding, which means you are able to pay yourself to work on your project for your community interest company and pay yourself in a lump sum. So this is a sort of a very rare opportunity, isn't it? Because we're used to doing work and being paid sort of every month on a pay slip basis. So with grant funding, they actually pay you upfront, and there's nothing to say that you can't withdraw that money in a lump sum. Now, some grant funders are different, so always check the terms and conditions of each grant funder, but most of them do allow you to pay upfront. So that is absolutely life-changing because it means that you are able to get £20,000, from a project grant, and you can just pay yourself a huge chunk of that, like say 90% of it even, and you can pay that to yourself. So you've got that large cash amount going in your account. Now, if you are employed, you would then have that as a self-employed income. At the end of the year, you would do your tax return. So do remember, of course, always to put aside what you're going to be paying in tax. For those of you on, say, universal credit or benefits, obviously the system's more complicated. I have got other videos on how to pay yourself if you are on universal credit. But again, you would have a self-employed account. You can then do a tax return every year for that. And if you are not earning any other income, you might not actually be paying any tax. If you're just doing like one project and you only get paid under 12,000, then that 12,500 is the tax-free threshold. So that could be life-changing. You could pay off debts. You could squirrel easily together the deposit for a house. You could pay for a dream holiday. There's just so much you could do with that lump sum of money. You might also want to reinvest that into another business, or maybe buying other property or whatever else. So in terms of just leveraging yourself financially into being more financially free, then a CIC is a fantastic way to do that, even if you don't want to give up your day job. Do, of course, bear in mind, if you are quite a high earner, then you're going to be in the 40% tax bracket, of course, so a large chunk of the money will be paid in tax. Reason number 2 for starting a CIC as a side hustle is it will turn your creative hobby or whatever your passion is that you'll do as a hobby into a paid income stream for you. And it can also leverage you career-wise and make your hobby into like a career. So for example, if you're into sports, you might be running, as a hobby, maybe a local sports club. Well, it'd be good to get paid to do that and actually bring some money in so you can run extra services, maybe for your community with regard to sport. Same if you're an artist and you want to run like art skills workshops, or you want to develop yourself as an artist, you've got Arts Council funding that you can do that with. Say you've got a hobby where you just like to do volunteer work in the community. Well, why not get paid to do that and actually have some extra money that you can invest in doing better things for your community? And you can do that with Lottery Community Fund and others. Or say your hobby is heritage and history, which mine is. So you could get Heritage Lottery grant funding. So all these grant funds are around £10,000. The Arts Council was actually up to £30,000 for a project. So between 10 and 30,000 is what you could expect to get for running a project like that. Now, bear in mind, out of that project budget, you will of course have other project costs. You can't pay yourself the whole amount, but a large chunk of it you can. And reason number 3 for starting a community interest company as a hobby, because it makes us so much happier to be part of a community and to actually be helping people. So with a community interest company, it's not all about you, it's about what you're doing in your community, whether you're putting on workshops or events or doing whatever you're doing, you're interacting with your community, and that makes us happier. It is proven that helping people makes you happier. Serving a community, serving a cause makes you happier, and that obviously that integration and doing like nice events in your spare time instead of just sitting on your bum in your house watching Netflix. So you could be doing something in the world that makes a massive impact instead. So those are my 3 reasons for starting a CIC as a hobby. If you're interested in knowing more, as I said, jump over to my website and check out my course, How to Set Up CIC and Get Grant Funded in 4 months. I also mentor people. That is limited, so I can't mentor everybody, but do see if there is any availability for mentoring or if you want to book a call with me.